and Illuminations with Lucinda. I'm very happy to have you here, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I made it through another week. So I have a feeling that we're gonna do some energy shifts during this particular broadcast. What I'm finding is that like people are very resistant to get into their heart space. And because they're very resistant to get into their heart space, this is going to be a challenging year for you. So, part of this year, this whole year, okay, is allowing yourself to really like connect with your satisfaction. Okay. So, your satisfaction is going to be found in your heart chakra. That's when your body is like in connection with your as above, so below. And when you're in your heart space, you have a better understanding of what satisfaction is to you because you feel satisfaction. All right. You can know satisfaction, but when you feel satisfaction, there's a different shift that will occur for you. You can receive that feeling by moving into like gratitude. That's one of the easiest ways to do that. Another way is to look at beauty. All right. Beauty is another force of nature, something that we may take for granted or treat like it's aesthetic, right? But it isn't. Really look at the nuances of the beauty around you. So part of it would be like maybe looking at what your lifestyle situation is, okay? Measuring it if you have to against maybe somebody who would be what you would consider less fortunate, and then you would start to merit the things that you have and bring them in like gratitude, like, oh, thank you for this, thanks for this experience, I'm really happy about this experience. You do that for about 3 minutes, and then there you are. That puts you into that heart brain coherence so that you could drop down into your heart space. So part of what I was talking about as far as like this year, our energies are trying to recuperate and heal still. And depending on how we're looking at it or how we're viewing it, is whether or not it's going to be a benefit or detriment. So if we think that it's hard, because this year we especially are going to live the narrative that we talk. So your words are creating your experience. And last night we were in spirituality and universal law, right? And I was only working with them as far as spiritual beliefs, right? And a lot of times when we have different people in the class, I'll go ahead and I'll look through like energy. I'll ask to connect. I'll look through their energy to see like what their belief system is, so that way I don't challenge it too much. So last night was almost like a I want to call it it was like a big synopsis of like, this is what this class is going to be about. And it felt really heavy at first, right? But it was because people were already shifting paradigms in the class. And sometimes I don't realize that like the littlest phrase can unlock somebody to such a degree that that benefits them, and then they have something tangible to work with. So part of um, one of the pieces of homework that I wanted to give last night was about this 2 days time, 3 days time, that is a recording that is just a small. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds or something like that from Abraham Hicks, and I'll just talk to you about it because it's gone. It's not on the internet anymore. So I'll put it out there. So this for me is one of the greatest ways to manifest without being attached. All right. We're attached to everything that we ask for because there is a necessity that we feel is not met. And it is a feeling that we get, okay, and a notion that we get. All right. So in this, we're connecting in that observation something that we lack. And then we're asking the universal energies. So life force energy is like the animation of what takes place. It's what like pushes everything into motion. All right. Okay. So so anyway, I'm gonna really address this really fast, okay? Sandy, if you keep showing up and asking for guidance when you've already made a decision, all you're really asking for is permission to be okay with that decision. So you're the only one that's in charge of that. I can't be in charge of how you feel. So the idea is that you move into the alignment, okay? Whatever reason you gave yourself for quitting the job, whatever that was, whether you deemed it good or bad, that's what it is. And it's okay. So now you're in that situation. So you have to give yourself that reconciliation point of, I'm okay. This is what I've chosen. I'll be all right. And then you determine how it is when you move forward. But if you're still lamenting over that old job, you're not going to be satisfied in either place. And that's how your life's going to be, because that's your narrative. All right. So change your narrative. Then the step that you take next will be in permission. You'll be in reconciliation at that point of recognition. When you move forward, you'll do nothing but manifest the life that you want. As long as you talk, you walk. That's it. That's really how it works. Okay. All right. So here, we're going to move on from that. Okay. Because I'm not doing readings today. I'm doing, I'm letting you guys know a lot of things right now. So you ready? So part of it is this. When you're manifesting, you need to be in alignment with the understanding that you're manifesting from a place of lack. And the only reason that you need to recognize that is because you're asking for an experience that you either want to repeat or is brand new to you, because you haven't had that experience and expansion into the universe. Okay. And that's the only reason you're asking for it. You're asking for it so that you can feel satisfaction, love, happiness. Okay. But those are all choices, because we have self-regulation in our body. So we could call up any emotion we want, attach it to whatever experience we have. And that's how we render our experiences. Okay. All right. So let's go into a little bit of the universal law that I talked about last night. I really wanted to hit on oneness, because we're many facets of a whole. We're a collective consciousness, okay, that is separated and delineated by each of us. So each of us grabs a hold of a particular consciousness that we call our own, and it's energy, the animation, okay, but it's not all the energy. There's lots and lots of inventions that we've created, and all of them have to do with words and particular belief systems. So you have almost 8 billion people operating in a different belief system, every single person. And in that, we are orchestrating this beautiful dynamic dance into the universe with all of our asks. When we ask for something, we're pushing energy out. That's what we're doing. When we receive, we're pulling energy in. That is the biggest understanding I can give you when it comes to manifesting. When you're asking, you're pushing. We ask all day long throughout the day for many things, but you're pushing energy. Okay. When you're relaxed and you're in your state of being, and you've already pushed and you're just kind of waiting, that's in your state of allowance. And that's when you can receive. Those are things that you can practice. Meditation helps you get that reset. There's just like a lot of things that will help you with that. Mostly this particular year, because now we're the first weekend of February. Okay. So in this, we're about 2 weeks into the Lunar New Year. All right. And in that, what have you done for yourself to show yourself that you're pulling away from the old energy of last year? What have you shown yourself that you're changing, so that way you can get into the dynamic of, oh, this is a new year. This is a new time. This is a new beginning. Because you need to determine that for yourself, especially in this year, because this year is a very fast-paced energy. Rabbits are multiplying, so there's going to be a lot of abundance. But what are you creating? Are you creating an abundance of a mess? Then that's what you're going to have a lot of. If you're creating, and it's your story. So pay attention to your story, and that's what's going to help you. Okay? If you are if you are saying your story in a less impactful way, like, well, I was in this position and I didn't have any say so. And so I quit this position. And now I have say so, but I'm dissatisfied because I don't have the same amount of money. Well, you had already determined, okay, not you, Sandy, but like just in this plane, okay, you had already determined that you were dissatisfied in that particular space. So anything that you bring to that space is going to feel and sense dissatisfaction. So every time something comes toward you and you're in receiving mode, it's going to feel dissatisfactory only because where you manifested it from was dissatisfaction. So those are the things that we want to take into consideration. Meditation is key to restoring yourself into your alignment, right? So we're going to do that real fast. If you guys are driving, please don't close your eyes, but you can close your eyes if you'd like to. What we're going to do is we're going to get heart centered. How you do that is you intentionally drop into your heart. So you imagine yourself jumping into your energy field, right down into your heart chakra. All right, there we go. Okay, we're going to let the energy settle. You're in the center of your energy. All right. And a lot of times it'll feel like you're floaty. Okay. And that's good because that just means you're aware of your energy field. And your energy field is like more than 99% of your experience. All right. So now that you're in this particular awareness, right? Feel around, sense around, get impressions. Is there more than you in this field, right? So we'll do this first. Through intention, we'll create like an opening, an archway. We'll fill it with a lot of light. And we'll ask all the spirit energy that's with us to go to the light, go to the light, go to the light. All right. And the reason that we do this is because we want to have a personal experience. We don't want to share our experience with something other than us that has another agenda. All right. And we want to help everybody get back to all the little globes. Okay. All the little orbs. Okay. So there's that. All cosmic beings that are attached to our experience. Thank you for your service. You may go. All right. Great. And then we'll just do. All right. Great. So now take a nice deep breath in. And when you release, you're releasing all the inside tension and psychic debris. We'll transmute that into little white butterflies of unconditional love. Great. Now you're very centered, you're connected, and you can show up for yourself. All right. You can ground by intention. So you put your feet on the ground. Imagine that you're standing directly on the ground and bringing in all that beautiful element energy, fire, wood, earth, water, metal, spirit, air, into your experience. You're touching the sky and getting in connection with like the sun. Okay. And you're bringing in all that beautiful. There you go. All right. Bring in that energy. Okay. So now what we're hoping for is to be more heart-centered so that way we can protect ourselves better from outside or external energetic, forces. All right. And the idea is that you're going to create a force field around you that's filled with unconditional love and acceptance to where things are going to get better. All right. There you go. And now you set an intention for the day. The intention for the day is that maybe you get more breaths of air, more breaks in between your work. Maybe you would like to have relaxed conversations, conversations filled with love and support and ideation. Maybe those are the kind of conversations that you'd like to have. Think about what kind of day you would like. Bring in that energy, bring in that supposition, bring in that imagination about what you would like. Okay? Stay with that for about 3 minutes. Then release it and go on about your day. Now you've done everything possible energetically to set yourself up for an optimal experience. Okay. Now, I do see that I have somebody on that is maybe feeling it. Well, from the statement, it's like, I feel so out of sorts. So I know that people can't stay on live for very long, but what I will do is, if everyone is able to close their eyes, doesn't mean everybody right now, but if you're able to close your eyes either now or later, all right, we're going to hit a reset point. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to drop down into your heart again. All right. Okay, take a nice deep breath into the top of your head and release. Deep breath into your forehead and release. Deep breath into your cheeks and release. Deep breath into your throat and neck. Release. 4. Okay. Deep breath into your feet. Release. 5. Deep breath into your legs. Release. 6. Deep breath into your hips. Release. 7. Deep breath into all of your back. Release. 8. Deep breath into the front of your torso. Release. 9. Deep breath into your shoulders, arms, and hands. And release from your shoulders down your arms and out your fingertips. 10. In this relaxed state, you're in a gap. This is a reset. We'll hold this position for a moment longer. And what we're doing is we're separating energy away from experience so that the charge isn't so great. And as we go through the day, we'll be better able to observe and process as we go along. We're not removing triggers. Triggers are indicators that there is processing that you have left unfinished inside of your energetic experience. It could be emotionally based, it could be mentally based, all right? But when we call those triggers and we call those warnings, okay, we need to recognize them for what they are. Are they showing you that you've already done that work? And so are you hearing or feeling satisfaction from that particular exchange? Or is this old behavior that's cropping up that you're releasing, that you're not using any longer and surprising you? A lot of times we'll be in that moment and we'll be like, oh, I thought I had it all on lock. And then life shows up. And that's all it is. Life is showing up. We've asked for an experience. So here, the experience showed up like this. Where'd you manifest it from? Did you manifest it from a place of lack? Yes, we all do. It's not a bad experience. It's just that we need the contrast so that we can appreciate. That's the word. Appreciate the joy. All right, there we go. So there's a nice clearing. Okay, everybody should feel very grounded and connected to the earth, connected to your source energy, feel very clear inside. And what we did was we just intended for our fields to let go of some of the processing that we've been doing. So that's a helpful intention. So everything's based in intention. Everything is. Okay, so the life force energy, when you hear about Reiki or Munaiki or prana or pranic energy and all of the energy modalities that are life force energy is the animation of what you wish to occur. All right. And in that is the energy that drives the transmutation, the change, so that way you can have that experience. So when you're in alignment with you and you're choosing happy, and you're choosing gratitude, and you're choosing to look at the beauty of things, like the beauty of the situation. Like, how else could the nuance, Sandy, bring you to that point, right? Of where you just are not going to accept being talked to in that way or treated in that way. Now, you valued yourself to such a degree that you honored yourself and you removed yourself from that situation. Good on you. Good on you. It's going to be uncomfortable because you stepped into a place that you thought was known, but now you're finding out more about it. It's less than what you really wanted. So there's that disparity. So look at the disparity, accept the disparity, and say, oh, okay, yes, because I did know that if I transferred back to this, that I would get less, and this is exactly what I chose. Now all the disparity comes into balance. Now your story meets itself in the vibe that you're at. Now you're just in a solution orientation. So now you have a situation. See how it just kind of pulls away? All of a sudden, it's just a situation. You get to make a choice. And that's what we work on a daily basis, is to pull our energy back from situations that we've extended too much of it to. And then we check to see how we're feeling about it, what we think about it, right? Because we send it out for information, and then we bring it back, right? I wonder if so and so is thinking about me. I wonder what they're going to do today at the job. I wonder like what traffic's going to be like. We're sending our information out there and we're bringing it back. Energy reciprocation of information. So when we're doing that, it's nice to be mindful about how you feel when you're sending your energy out there to do reconnoiter stuff, right? You're sending it out there to look to see whether or not this is going to be a beneficial ask. All right. And then you bring it back, and we call it daydreaming. We plan our best vacations when we're daydreaming, but that's what it is. We are sending our energy out for investigation to see whether or not that experience is something that actually draws us, and if it does, piques our interest, or maybe it's like this, ooh, something shiny, then we're all about trying to make that happen. And so that's really how it works for us. It isn't a good or bad thing, it's just this is how it works. So give yourself a break on some of the manifesting that you're doing. Sit, do a checklist, and see what's come through that you've asked for in the last 2 weeks. Like, look, like, really look. Because if you're not measuring it and you're only going into a catastrophized place of being when something doesn't go your way, then that is the energy you're going to continue to attract. If you're not celebrating your wins, how are you going to know what your measurable, attainable goals have rendered? How are you going to know? So that's why journaling is really a good way to do it. So one of the things that I had started out saying was that this is a really good way to do it. So 3 days time, you got to give yourself time to change. Okay. Because we have auto accommodation buttons that like we'll auto accommodate ourselves. So that way we could stay in old patterns and habits. And the idea is that this paradigm shift that we're going through right now, that feels like, a lot of people call it ascension, right? Well, our vibe is going up. So our vibe's getting faster. That means that we're getting less dense, more light energy. We are becoming more light energy. So in that, we're moving faster and we're not used to it. Keep in mind, we are constantly moving at the speed of light. We are light. Okay. All right. So there you go. All right. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss and give to you was 3 days time. So 3 days time is something where if you're playing with the universe and you're trying to manifest something, okay, one of the things that you can do is you can create a conversation that feels less restrictive, okay? And the conversation in your head would be something like this. It'd be like, you can use phrases like, wouldn't it be nice to experience this? And so I'm going to come from my heart space because that's where I know I feel satisfaction. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick a different experience that brought me satisfaction so I can remind myself what that feels like. Okay. And I'm going to feel that satisfaction now from a place of satisfaction, because that's the energy that I've chosen to work with. All right. I'm going to ask myself what will bring me satisfaction. Maybe another experience of satisfaction. So I'm just going to leave it really broad that way, because there isn't a specific to where I feel off of my wobble or anything. I'm not in a wobble. I'm in a really good space. So for me, I just want more unconditional love to show up in my life. So that's really what I would like, okay? Because there it's filled with acceptance, it's filled with understanding, forgiveness, surrender, support. And so like those are the energies that I really want to work with. So unconditional love is really what I want to show up in my life, no matter how that looks. All right. I want to see what that looks like. I want to experience that particular energy. I'm going to find, good morning. I'm going to find satisfaction in that beautiful energy. Okay. And so when I find that satisfaction, now I become a vibrational match for that walk during the day. So let's say I'm in my manifesting gratitude in the morning, and I want to say to the universe a story that I can use is not necessarily a mantra, but something that's always going to bring me back into that beautiful alignment where like I am one with myself, I am one with my experience, and I am in complete surrender and acceptance of who I am. When you move into that particular energy, it allows you to be the person that you choose to be rather than fighting against who you think you should be. And that's the difference. That's the state of being and the state of doing. So part of it is that you can treat the universe like your personal assistant. All right. In the morning, I liked when I do my gratitude practices, one of them is I'll journal maybe 10 things that I'd like to experience that day. I keep them very broad, like I told you earlier, really broad. So that way they're sure to happen. Okay. So I would like to meet 4 or 5 new people to come into the center. I would like 2 people to call me for this. I would like to book like maybe 4 or 5 more appointments, whatever it is that I'm trying to manifest. And so I'll do like maybe 10 things. Then I write these 5 sentences, because these 5 sentences, that's my wish list for the day. All right. Then I'm going to write these 5 sentences. The first sentence is bring me ideas. Okay. I'm just talking to the universe. Bring me ideas. All right. I'm just going to look for ways for these things to come through. So bring me ideas. All right. The next is going to be connect me to like-minded individuals. Okay. Connect me to like-minded individuals. All right. And that's going to show me my power. So show me my power to the universe, right? And then bring me into harmony with my core desires. All right. And those sentences are so powerful that it takes you into observation and you're giving your wish list to the universe. Now you go back up to the 10 things that you asked for. You decide on 2 that you're going to work on, and you give the other 8 to the universe. At the end of the day, you kind of tally up to see who did more. All right. And that's an easy way to start your day. All right. And then I think that we'll develop a PDF and things like that that we'll make available. And it'll be in our universal law and spirituality class. And I invite you, it's twice monthly, the first and third Tuesday, which is a really good time. And then tomorrow I'll be doing free live readings at 11 a.m. So you could join us then. And then let's see. Oh, yeah, Ashley's going to be with me. So Ashley and I are doing free live readings tomorrow in the morning. That'll be at 11 a.m. It'll mostly be Facebook. It won't be YouTube this time because we're not keeping like the readings up on YouTube. So it'll be Twitch and Facebook, and just ask for a card. It's going to be very fast paced. So just keep that in mind. Then in the evening, Ashley and I are doing gallery readings that are love readings. And we're specifically asking for love readings. So if you need more love in your life, come on down. That'll be a good time. And then this Saturday is our Saturday Night Stories Live, which is really an excellent event. I really like this one. So we have 3 people who are already going to tell their stories. We're inviting others to get up there behind the mic and tell their stories. It's a very connective, fun-filled, like urban campfire sort of setting. Everybody gets a meal. Kathleen Hannador, so Kathleen Abram does the cooking, and it's just it's so good. And then yeah, so it should be a good time. That Saturday we're also going to do like a little baby excursion to conscious life. So we'll meet here at like 8. You have to pre-purchase your ticket, otherwise it's $10 more and you got to stand in the registration line. Okay, so we'll leave here at 8, come back at 2, and then we'll have Saturday Night Stories live. That'll be this Saturday. I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Have the best day ever.